You know, I told you we had a surprise for you, and it was a surprise for almost everybody, except me. I had the notes on it. But right now, I'd like to introduce to you two outstanding gentlemen who are with us here in the studios of our 700 Club. One of them is Mr. Curtis Brooks, who's the secretary of the Tidewater chapter of the National Conference of Christians and Jews, and the other one, Mr. Tom Heifhammer, who is the co-chairman of the National Conference of Christians and Jews, and he's also the chairman of Community Relations, the Committee of the United Jewish Federation of Norfolk. And I'd like for you to welcome them right now to the 700 Club. Welcome. We're so glad to have you all here. Welcome to the club.
That was quite a mouthful you had to do that. That was very good. Curtis, I think, can explain a little bit why we're here.
Well, thank you very much, Ben. You know, a lot of people, you might suspect, have been very much impressed with a tremendous series of documentaries on Israel. And no less than the National Conference of Christians and Jews, on a national as well as a local level, have taken note of this. And tonight we would like to make really two presentations to the president of CBN and as well to the network itself. And I'd like for Tommy to read at least a portion of one of these citations.
All right.
I'd like to try to say, Ben, certainly what the National Conference of Christians and Jews really is all about. It's a human relations organization dedicated to building bridges of understanding among all groups of goodwill by marshaling the forces of enlightenment and education against prejudice, and by enlisting those who, without compromise of conscience or commitment, work to bring about like objectives. Therefore, by the authority of its national president, this distinguished merit citation will be presented to Dr. M.G. Pat Robertson and the Christian Broadcasting Network, Incorporated, with the following citation, which is really beautiful. And Curtis, I'd like to ask you to read that.
Thank you very much, Tom. Well,
excuse me, could we get Mr. Robertson out here? I'm sure he'd like to hear that. Why don't we invite to the 700 Club Mr. Robertson? Excuse me, could I just step right here in front of you, sir?
I think that would be appropriate. Well, specifically, this is for outstanding professionalism and keen perception demonstrated through a skillfully prepared series of film presentations on Israel for television audiences throughout the United States, the West Indies, and Great Britain, and for a manifested awareness of the spiritual, cultural, and political significance of the Jewish nation through the inclusion of timely interviews with ranking leaders of Israel and the poignant portrayal of contemporary life in that strategic land. And by reason of the foregoing, for so effectively conveying to your viewers the magnificence of our Judeo-Christian heritage and its uniquely inspirational characteristics. This then is a citation which we are delighted to present to you, and its companion plaque is an appropriately inscribed memento which Tom Heifhammer is holding for you. This is from the national, and this is from the local and the national. So the recognition is pretty widespread, and we hope complete.
Thank you.
This is a great moment for me, and it came as somewhat of a surprise today. But I want to thank you on behalf of the Christian Broadcasting Network and all of our thousands and thousands of viewers and listeners all over this territory you mentioned, that we want to express our love for the Jewish people, our love for Israel, and as Christians, we're delighted that we can hold out a hand of fellowship to those that share a common heritage of liberty and understanding of the truths of God's Word. And I'm very moved by this, and it'll be something that I will certainly treasure. And as I say, it's accepted on behalf of all of our wonderful staff and our wonderful viewers. And God bless you both. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much.